Hi everyone, welcome to Thursday Live Chat with Rachel. I'm so excited about tonight. I'm now live. I'm on Instagram, so hi on Instagram, hi on Facebook in the Manifesting Straight Talk group. So on Instagram, if you're not a member of that, make sure you join. And when you come on, please pop a comment in. I'll pull us a card for everyone tonight and we'll get started. But I do these every week, and this is where I dive into the podcast episode that I record and goes out every Wednesday. So this is your chance to ask me questions on it, to hear more about it, to hear my thinking behind things, and really get to know what I've been thinking about that week. So when you come on, pop a comment in, whether you're watching on Instagram or Facebook. Someone's joined, and I will get us a card to get us started tonight. So that's the one. Let's see who's on. Hi Val, how are you doing? So the card tonight, Get Grounded. Love this one. So I'm using the Rebecca Campbell Light Work Your Light deck, which I absolutely love. So if anybody hasn't got these, they are amazing. They're really good for connecting with your soul. But as well, she has a new deck out, which is the Rose Oracle, and they are so good. Just beautiful cards if you want that deeper connection. So we've got empaths, highly sensitive people, get connected with nature. This is all about this connection with the outdoors. You've been feeling too cooped up. We've had some bad weather here in the UK. You need to get outside and really feel that energy, feel something different, make a bit of a change, and really change your environment. That's what this card's about. It's not about just necessarily nature, but it's about something about your environment where you need to change and you need to make a shift so that you get yourself centered again. You might have found that this week your thoughts have been a little bit all over the place, or you haven't been able to get the clarity you need. Well, this card is saying time to get grounded, time to get centered. So that's the card, that's the message for us all this week. So I've definitely not been out in nature as much as I'd love to, and I got out today and it felt amazing. So if anybody hasn't seen my reel, it was so nice just to get out and see the sea and feel that energy. So the sea on my reel, like I said, it makes me feel so abundant, and that's what I'm going to be talking about tonight. So if you haven't seen the podcast this week, it is all about how abundance is a feeling, it's a choice, it's something we bring in. Hiya Jamie, we've got Jamie and Val on the Facebook group. So tonight I'm streaming between Facebook and Instagram. So hi Claire on Instagram. So just to give the new people to the group and people on Instagram a bit of an insight, the Manifesting Straight Talk podcast goes out every single Wednesday, and I do a different mindset topic and very much around living this abundant life, living your magnificent life, because that is what it's all about. Life's meant to be fun, it's meant to be joyful, it's meant to be happy. We're sometimes taught that it's meant to be hard and all of that stuff, but what I'm here to do is just shed all of them beliefs and make you see how good life can actually be and how amazing you can feel. And this is what we talked about in this week's podcast. It was about abundance being a choice. So you might be thinking, what are you talking about? Abundance is something that comes in, it's money, it's all of that stuff. And that is what we're taught. We're taught that it is about, when I have the money, everything will be all right. Once I have that ease and that freedom and the money comes, everything will work out. It'll be amazing. But I want to challenge that a little bit, because for me, that's not how it works. And I know up until probably a couple of years ago, when I started really diving into my money mindset, I was making more and more money steadily each year. My income grew really steadily every single year, and yet I never felt abundant. I always felt like the more I had, the more that was going out, the more bills I would get, the more I would have to pay for. And I always felt like the more money I earned, the less I had. So it wasn't a case of once the money will come, you're going to feel abundant. It is really, it comes down to abundance being this choice. It is a feeling, it's an energy, it's a vibration that you bring in. And to explain that, think about when you were a kid and someone give you, a pound. I mean, a pound to me when I was a child was a lot of money. Maybe not to kids now, but think of about £10 or something like that. And when you were a kid and you had that money in your pocket, you felt so rich. You felt like on top of the world, like everything was affordable to you. You could just go out and spend that money and it felt incredible. And yet now if somebody gives you £10, you'd be thinking, well, that's great. I can get, whatever you could get with a tenner now. Probably not a lot. But it's just, it comes down to the feeling and the energy and the thoughts that we have that create the abundance in our life. It is not necessarily about the pounds on paper or the money in your account, because this is what happens when people win the lottery. And if they don't feel abundant and they don't feel like they have the wealth mindset, then suddenly all the money goes. It doesn't stay around. It's not something that people end up keeping. So what happens is if somebody wins the lottery and they haven't acclimatized to having a wealth mindset, suddenly they can go buy these houses in a nice area, they can go and buy a nice car, and they're walking into that showroom of this nice car that they've always dreamed of. And that poor person inside of them is thinking, this isn't for me. I don't feel comfortable. I don't feel like I belong here. This feels odd. It feels off. And this creates that feeling of actually not feeling worthy. So the abundance is being repelled rather than I've already got it. So it's there and I'm happy with it and I should be enjoying this experience. Suddenly you don't feel comfortable. Or if you suddenly had all this money and you could buy a house in the most amazing area that you wanted, but you haven't acclimatized to it, then you suddenly don't feel like you belong in that area, or you feel like other people might be better than you, or whatever it is. So this is where we've got to decide that abundance is a choice. It's not about how much money you have. It's about how you choose to feel in your everyday life. And what happens when you choose to feel abundant, when you rise up to that abundance, when you bring that into your life, what happens is that you actually create more and more. And it attracts to you because it is energy. It's like any relationship. If you feel good about it, if you feel, if you feel sexy to that other person, if you feel attractive to that other person, they want to be around you more. They want to be there with you. Whereas if you don't feel your best and you feel, frumpy or whatever it is, and you're just feeling off, that other person feels that energy, and money is exactly the same. So we've got to choose to be on a good vibrational frequency in order to attract the money in. And this is where it comes down to what we choose to do. And we often think the money will come. The money will come when, and we put it down to once a miracle happens, once I get this pay rise, once I get this next thing. But it doesn't have to be a once you do this. You can change it inside from changing your thinking, changing your thought patterns, changing the way that you feel about the energy of money. So pop some comments in. Let me know if this resonates, or if you've been working on this yourself. Pop some comments in, let me know where you're at with it. Today's card was all about getting grounded. So this is a perfect time to just go, how am I feeling about what's happening around me? How am I feeling about my finances? How am I feeling about the abundance in my life? And abundance is a multitude of things, and that's why I talk about this abundant life. It really is about this happiness, this level of vibrational frequency that you allow in that just makes things easy and flowing and feel good. It's not necessarily all about pounds and pence. It's literally about that feeling that you allow into your body. So let me know, pop some comments in. We'll see what you're saying. So we've got Jamie and Val still. Pop some comments in. Let me know. I don't know whether they're going a bit slow or you're being quiet. So pop something in. Let me know what you're thinking. So to give you an example as well about how you can choose to feel abundant and how you can't. Imagine, and I tell this story all the time because our feelings come from our thoughts. So it doesn't matter what someone has done to you. It doesn't matter what's happening in your life. Whatever your thought patterns are, that is what creates your feelings. And your thoughts patterns come from your beliefs. So imagine that someone gave you £100, okay, and that same person gave me £100. So we've both got this £100 off somebody that we know, and it's the same person. So you get the £100 and you think to yourself, this is amazing. This is exactly what I needed. This is exactly what I wanted. How nice of them to give me that £100. And that is incredible. So then you feel so happy and so grateful and you show them that gratitude. And then what happens is that they're probably more likely to want to give you more money. That is what might happen. Whereas they give me £100 and suddenly I'm thinking, well, I needed £1,000. They know I needed £1,000. This is absolutely no good to me. 100 isn't going to touch what I need. So suddenly I'm just thinking about the £900 that I don't have rather than the 100 that I do. And I'm feeling ungrateful. I'm feeling that person's being quite selfish because they've got the money. They could have given me the money. So suddenly there's a kind of disrespect coming from me to that person. And they're not going to want to give me any more money. They're not going to go, well, yeah, I'll give you the 900. They're going to go, no, you're being ungrateful. And I don't feel very good now that I've given you £100. So same situation, two very different outcomes. And this is what happens when we have our own financial situations. Money comes in. Often we just take it for granted. We get our paycheck, we get our wages, we get, money from family, from wherever sources it comes from. And we don't look at how amazing that is. It's just something that comes in every month and we go, all right, that's it. Now I've paid my bills and that's it, gone. And actually changing our mindset and changing the way that we think and we interact with money creates a whole new world and a whole new dynamics on how much money wants to be around you. Money wants to flow into you. Money is coming in easier because you are seeing it as well. Everything you focus on, it grows. So imagine focusing on how grateful you are for everything you have, how grateful you are for every piece of money that comes in, whether it's a money off coupon or, you go into a shop and suddenly there's 50% off a dress and you're buying this dress for 50% off. That is money that you are saving. That is a bargain that you are getting. But these little things we just sometimes take for granted. And little tweaks like this can start to shift how much money we're attracting in and how much we are allowing to flow to us. So it just creates, it creates a better feeling, not only in you, because you feel happier, you feel like your vibration's higher. And again, you are rising up to attract better things in your life. So it takes these little shifts, these little mindset tweaks, just to create the difference. And you do see a huge difference. So I can't see the comments. Sorry about that. I'll keep going though. Even though I'm a bit croaky tonight. I don't know what's going on. But so one thing I talk about in the podcast is obviously this choice. And we can choose from today that you are going to feel and become abundant. It genuinely is a choice that you make to happen. It's not something that you wait to happen to you or you wait for your circumstances to change. It's something that you choose, and then it changes for you once you choose to do that, once you start to put that inspired action in place. So it's really the be, do, have attitude. If you think of most scenarios in life, we live from a have, do, be. So we're constantly thinking, once I have the thing, so once I have the money, once I have that new job, once I have that relationship, once I have that better friendship, all of that stuff, I'll be able to do more. So once I'm in a good relationship, I'll be able to go out more, I'll be able to do loads of things. Once I have money, I'll be able to buy things, I'll be able to do different things. All of this stuff, we're saying once we have it, this is how we'll act. Whereas to manifest and intentionally bring things into your life, because we're manifesting all the time. So when you're trying to intentionally focus and bring more good things into your life, you've got to start to become what it is that you want. And to become it, you've got to get your energy and your emotions to that state that you want to create. So if you want to create that loving relationship, then you've got to fill yourself with love and self-worth and all of that happiness that you feel you would have from being in that relationship. You need to become that person you would be once you're in it. It's not a case of waiting for it to happen. You do that choice yourself internally. You create that feeling internally. If you want to live a rich and vibrant life, then you create that rich and vibrancy inside yourself. You start to look at money in a different light. You start to change your perspective to money. You start to change your perspective to everything. You thank everything you have. I mean, looking around this room that I'm in now, I just see so much abundance. It's unreal. So crystals, flowers, my mirror on the wall, my signs, just little things that I've either bought or been bought for me. And just looking around the room, I can see so much. So do you walk around your house and do you look at all the things that you think, oh my God, that's been gifted to me. That's something I bought because I loved it. Everything around you has come from an abundant place. So imagine that everything you're looking at now, the phone you're watching me on, the laptop you're watching me on, whatever it is, that is abundance right there. That is money and financial abundance in front of you. And often we just take it, we take it for granted. Hi, Erin. We just look at these things and they just become, we get sorry, my words are getting stuck, but it's that law of familiarity. I can never say this word, by the way. Familiarity. I'll try and say it like that, but I can never say that one properly. But because we get so familiar with everything, we just forget it's there. We don't see it. We don't see that it's everything, all of this stuff around us. I always talk about your knicker drawer or your sock drawer. So your knicker drawer here in the UK is basically pants if you watch them from America. And you look in there, somehow I have socks that fill a whole drawer. I've got 2 feet. How the hell have I got so many socks? And then half the time I think I don't have socks. And again, this is just abundance that is just there. It's all around you. And when you start to look at all of this stuff as money and financial abundance, you just attract more and more of it. And it's you don't attract more clutter and you don't attract more socks. Don't worry, you're not going to keep yourself in a bigger socks drawer. But it does make you shift your energy and shift your perspective to seeing abundance absolutely everywhere. And it's like when I do the Manifest a Penny challenge, I ask you to manifest a penny because it's so easy to do, but you could manifest money so easily as well in larger amounts. We've just got to shift our perspective and start to see that it's already around us. We already have it. Thankfully the comments are back up now, so definitely need to get outside. Yeah, sorry about these, they were going really slow, so they've just come through. Definitely need to get outside to ground and feel that abundance. Yes, and wherever you live, that house that you live in, the the garden, the flowers, everything around you is just so beautiful. And looking at all of that, like, that is abundant. That is that feeling. And abundance is a feeling. It's not physical money, because like I said, it doesn't matter how much money you have. And these lottery winners that walk in and suddenly they're rich as anything, and they're walking into these car showrooms and they can buy anything they want, but they still don't feel abundance, because they're still taking that old mindset in. They're still taking that old feeling of not being good enough and I shouldn't be here. So suddenly they don't feel abundant. They don't feel that joy and happiness. And that's why they don't keep the money, because it just doesn't stay at that vibrational frequency. Val, I don't realise how lucky I am. Yeah, definitely. Oh my God, same for me. Yeah, the socks, Casey. Yeah, the socks. And even things like looking at how you treat yourself. So I know I talk about knickers and socks and all of that all the time, and you might be thinking, God, Rachel, you are mental. But even when you think of what are your knickers and socks like? Do they have holes in? Do you have pajamas with holes in? Do you wear clothes that you think could be updated? And often we do this because it's comfy and it's nice and it's like, oh, I'll just put my comfy stuff on. But sometimes your comfy stuff makes you feel not so good, because you think, oh, these socks have got holes in, I need to throw them out, but I never do. And it's really about up-leveling little things like this that just make you feel more abundant. So making these small upgrades to your wardrobe, just slowly over time, making sure that you're not wearing stuff that makes you feel like not good enough, or you feel frumpy, anything like that. Just because it's in your wardrobe, just because it's been there for years, it doesn't mean you need to keep it. It doesn't mean you need things around you that don't make you feel good and don't make your energy feel good, because it's all about really lifting up your vibrational energy. So think about all the stuff that you've got that's amazing, but think about the stuff that you could let go, because when we let them go, we create more space, we create energy for that abundance to come in, and it can come in so many forms. It's incredible. So I had a really interesting time as well. So I've went through, obviously, the launch of Awaken the Abundant You, which was absolutely incredible, but mentally I went through every emotion under the sun. It was crazy. So it was literally like, one day I was like, oh, this is amazing. The next day I'm like, oh my God, is anybody gonna buy? Is anybody gonna join? Am I gonna be sat talking to myself? And you literally go through all of these feelings. But I just went, what is happening? And what I didn't even focus on who was going to join, what it was going to run like. What I really focused on is how I felt and how abundant I felt and how the energy was going to be in the group and how fun it was going to be. And honestly, the group is incredible. And I just kind of switched off to the outcome. Because when we do focus on different things or different measurements that we put in place, we miss the point of what we're trying to do. So you imagine that you are constantly measuring yourself based on the type of house that you live in, the type of car that you drive, all of that stuff. And you might be thinking, oh, well, I'm not in the same place I used to be, or things that are a bit different, or I've got all these bills, and you measure it by so many metrics that actually you miss all of the stuff that's happening along the journey, and you miss all of the fun and all of the abundance that is already there. And what we've got to do is really open up to this idea that abundance is just a feeling, and we can feel it at any point during the day. You could be having the worst day. You could get a bill through the door and think, how am I going to pay this? And then you could go, no, I'm not thinking like that. I feel abundant, and let your chest expand. Let that good energy come in and just go, no, I'm abundant. I feel abundant. I feel good. I feel energized. And that's the shift. It really, really is an incredible shift when you can start to make it and start to shift into, it's a feeling. Your thoughts are not always the truth. Your thoughts actually don't make sense a lot of the time, and yet we believe them like the gospel, and they're not. It's the feeling we can have, and we can choose to feel whatever we want at any point. And that's an incredible feat. Imagine that, like, you can choose to feel absolutely anything at any point. And we could be having a conversation now, and I could start to talk about something sad, and we could suddenly all start to talk about something sad, and then we'll be feeling sad. Whereas I choose to talk about uplifting things, so we all feel uplifted, we all feel inspired. That is the difference, and we choose that all of the time. So it's not about waiting for the abundance to show up, because it's already there. It's all around us. We've just got to see it, open up to it, feel that feeling, and then watch it flow in. Watch how easy it is. Because when we've been taught it's hard and you've got to do certain things to make money, that is not actually the truth. It is not. We believe it because we've been taught it for so long. But we've actually been taught how to make money from a lot of people who don't have a lot of money. And if you think about the people who've taught you about your finances and taught you about abundance and how to feel abundant around you, are any of them rich? Because I would say not. I've got a lot of money experts in my life, a lot of people who are, they are financial experts if you ask them, and they don't have that much money. They're not rich people. They just claim that they're financial experts because they know what you should be doing. They know how you make your money in life. So have a think about that, and think about who you're taking your advice off, and whether, is it the right advice, or are you ready now to really step in and choose that abundance? I would love to know. So even if you're watching the replays, pop some comments in, let me know. Val saying wardrobe full of clothes and nothing to wear. Yeah, I know that feeling. I'm always getting whinged at about my wardrobe. Mike's like, are you just going to have a clear out? I'm like, I've just done one. And I still say I've got nothing to wear. But that's a woman thing. But as well, think of the abundance. Think of how much we could clear out and let that space in for the new, because the new feels good as well. We're always like, oh, let's stick with the old, but no, go for the new. It feels good. So I hope this one has helped you tonight, and this is such a gorgeous card. So for anybody who's watching, this is out of the Work Your Light deck from Rebecca Campbell, and this one is Get Grounded. So I think that's what we've definitely done tonight. We have got grounded. We have remembered that we are in charge of this. It's not waiting for money to come. It isn't waiting for our life to get better. It isn't waiting for that man to arrive, or whatever it is that you are waiting for. You don't wait for things to happen to you. You don't wait for life to happen. You grab it and you decide that it's happening for you, not to you, because it is happening for you, but it's all down to that perspective. It's all down to the way that you look at things. So please start to look at your mindset. Start to look at how you're thinking about things, what perception you're putting on things. And are you the one that's so grateful for getting the £100, or are you the one that goes, well, no, I needed 900, I needed 1,000, what is this about? Because that's a choice, and that's what we do all the time. So really think about that. Let me have a look. Lovely. And oh, thanks, Val, that's so nice. And nice to have you on tonight. It's been good to have you there, and thankfully the comments were coming through. So if anybody wants any more information on this, obviously join the Manifesting Straight Talk group, or put some comments in and I'll go back and read them if you're watching the replays. And I would love to know how you are going to start to choose to be more abundant. There's going to be so many good podcast episodes about this abundant life, because that is what, when I say manifest a magnificent life, that is what it's about. It's about this richness. It's about this energy that you have. It's just about this life being good and fun and enjoyable, and we can all have that. It's all within our reach. So I hope you've enjoyed tonight. Pop some comments in if you're watching the replays, and I will catch you all soon. So it'll be the weekly cards on Monday. I'll be back on Thursday with another live, and the podcast will be out on Wednesday as well. So loads happening. And also, if you missed out on Awaken the Abundant You, don't worry, I'm going to be launching the mini course Abundant Accelerators soon, which is only just a small one, but it dives into some of the stuff I've been talking about tonight, which are my money hacks around how I create more abundance and how I create this feeling within my daily life as well. So that's going to be just a nice little taster for you. So I'll let you know when all of that's ready and available, but keep an eye on all the socials, and everything will be on there as well. So I'll speak to you all soon. Have an amazing night, and thank you for joining me. Bye.